is a city that knows how to celebrate, but is it built for it? After 11 people died in the stampede outside Chinnaswamy Stadium yesterday, now there's a serious question that's being raised if this how the city prepares for a celebration of this scale. I'm Shivani Kawa, and joining me today are urban observers and citizen activists who will tell us about what went wrong and how what we can do to avoid such scale of disaster. Now, we have seen massive gatherings in the past, including funeral of Punit Rajkumar, Dr. Rajkumar, Ambarish, Kaveri water protests, and even the New Year's Eve celebrations on MG Road. And but still, the city does struggle with managing large crowd gatherings. Now, why do you think it's still happening? And is there something that we are fundamentally doing something wrong?
Okay, my view is like this. We've got two or three problems in Bangalore. First of all, I don't think there are enough recreational things that people in Bangalore can get to do, right? So that's a problem. And as a result, when new recreational opportunities open up, you get these huge throngs of people thronging the few leisure spots that are available. And secondly, the roads around some of these places, the widths of these roads were not designed for these numbers of people. We're standing here in a small alley. I can just call it an alley, which is behind the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And the width of this road may be about 30 or 35 feet. I'm just guessing, right? And when this has to deal with the tens of thousands of people on this place, it's going to become a very difficult proposition on that. And then there is the kind of pressure that develops on some of these events where adequate notice is not given, but that's a separate topic in of itself.
Shipa, what do you think?
Yeah. Bangalore is not new to any kind of celebrations or even mourning. Yeah, we've had so many events of this stature in the past. So it's not something new, and it's not that we are incapable of handling, but probably a proper planning and announcements would have probably eased the administration in handling the issues. We definitely, I mean, these areas cannot hold thousands of people at all. I mean, if you go around the Chinnaswamy, all the road widths are very, very narrow. I mean, asking people to come towards Chinnaswamy was itself a blunder. So we have to see case by case basis and not say generally that Bangalore cannot handle this. I mean, it's a definitely, I agree with Nitin that this is a recreational thing and you can't say people cannot celebrate, right? This is a major thing. I mean, people waited for 18 years to see this trophy being lifted by their team, and definitely they had a reason to celebrate. But I mean, some planning, some advance preparations would have definitely avoided this chaos, because the roads around those outskirts will be choked. Okay, and probably the preparedness will be much lesser. The resources would be much lesser in the outskirts of the city than being inside the city. If there is some level of alert and some additional reserves have to be called, and it's easier when it is inside the city than the outskirts. That will not solve the problem. But yes, definitely the matches are held better. There are many music shows that are held better where there are thousands people attend those gatherings. Okay, it's not that we cannot do it, but definitely a lot of planning is required. We had enough time, 4 days since RCB was in the final, right? Of course, given the history, probably they were thinking RCB may not win, but they could have definitely been prepared and avoided this tragedy, or even spaced out, as I said before. If they had the Vidhan Saudha event yesterday and today the parade, then it would have made more sense. See, the crowd was really frenzy. I was out here on the match night, and we could not enter the MG Road, St. Mark's Road at all. We just took a turn around the Residency Road and went back, because at 1:30 in the night, it was choking everywhere. So I'm sure they could get the sense of the crowd by seeing on the match night how many can come into the stadium or any place they say. So they could have just waited for a day more and then organized it better. Then the results, definitely, we wouldn't have had the tragedy we had yesterday.
Listen, you were just telling us about the previous stampede like situation right here. So can you just describe what happened then and which year was it?
This was 1993. It was an India versus England 50 over game. It was a day game, as all games of that era were. So that was a game where a number of fake tickets had been printed and issued. These were the pre-hologram ticket days, and a whole bunch of fake ticket holders had gotten inside the stadium, and the stadium was full. So the police had locked most of the gates up. And I had gone to the match with a friend, or I was intending to go to the match with a friend, and we had two genuine tickets. And there was this locked gate, one of the gates on Queens Road, and the police had secured the gates from within with a chain and a lock. And there were a couple of hundred people waiting outside with genuine tickets and were like pressing against the gate to be let in. And we were standing, my friend and I were standing about 10 feet away. Then all of a sudden, behind us came another 200 or 300 people, also genuine ticket holders. Tickets were angry that they paid good money and wanted to get in. And before we knew it, we got caught in the middle of this melee, and the 500 people just pressing against that, and the chain broke, and the gates just opened, and then 500 of us were swept into the stadium. My friend and I were just like literally carried on our feet and taken into the stadium. Right, it was an ordeal, and I think after that there was such an outcry. This issue was raised in the newspapers, in the assembly, and a lot of changes were made. Good changes were made. Hologram tickets were introduced, but a crowd control was brought in. Turnstile management came in. A whole bunch of things were brought in. It sort of grieves me that we don't seem to have learned lessons from 1993 all the way now in 2025.
Now, that brings me to the question of like now most of our infrastructure was designed like decades ago, including our stadiums, bus stops, and even the palace ground. So, do you think we like the old infrastructure was made for a much slower and less crowded city, but right now we are living in an outdated infrastructure which probably cannot hold up to the volume of the crowd and the behavior of the crowd right now?
Definitely, it's there to a great extent. Infrastructure. You must remember that this city, when I remember the city in the early 90s or late 80s, this was a 25 lakh population city, right? And today it's about five times that. So 5x the number of people have come in, and the infrastructure is, you see the creaking infrastructure all around in the form of roads, in the form of sewage lines, pipelines. For water, for electric power, and so many other things, the city is literally creaking at the seams. And as I stressed right at the start, again, you've got a lot of shortage of entertainment opportunities in the city. So although this topic may be off topic here, I think perhaps the government has something in mind when they talk about having a sky deck and an entertainment park around the sky deck. It's not a project that I oppose at all. In fact, I think Bangalore needs more entertainment opportunities, and if it can be done in a way that's ecologically friendly and can divert people from the existing entertainment spots, why not? Maybe that's one solution.
I mean, but these are ambitious infrastructure projects that like we already have a crumbling infrastructure right now, and the flyovers that are still under construction, and we are still the city which has traffic woes and the always under construction buildings. I don't know if I agree with your. If we need more SkyDeck, we do need more roads, and we do. But again, I want to come back to the whole free ticketing like incident you talked about back in the day. That was like this time it was announced that the event was free. And there was a confusion. Like 7 o'clock is when RCB tweets that there's going to be a parade. By 1 o'clock, cops say the parade is not going to happen. And at 3 o'clock, RCB tweets that, there are tickets available. You can go get the tickets from this so and so website. But again, the limited tickets thing is like very small in font, which is why the whole confusion probably would have created because by the time 3 p.m. the tweet would have come out, people were already on the streets. Like my colleagues were taking metro, who take metro, they were just texting us frantically saying there's a huge crowd outside Cubbon Park. And by the end of it, when the whole situation broke out, the stampede broke out, the Cubbon Park and Vidhan Sabha metro stations were totally avoided. Now, this brings me back to the question is, what do you think is the next solution? Because our city is already choked. Um, do you think more barriers and more restrictions is the solution? Because during the IPL matches, that's what the cops do, right? They give out traffic advisories saying avoid these roads and there are alternate roads. So, is that the solution that we go ahead with?
Yeah, I think, see, I think better management would have solved these problems. It does solve the problem. Even I have been here on matches where there have been where the stadium was packed to the gills. I've been here for the World Cup quarterfinal, India versus Pakistan. That's an iconic game, right? There were 10, the stadium there, you couldn't get a single seat. And there were a couple of several thousand people outside the stadium desperately hoping that there would be some cancellations and all of that. Even that match was handled well and amidst the same infrastructure. If proper barricading, as I said, turnstile management, and all the rest. And this concept of free tickets, I think somebody needs to just examine what on earth they were thinking when they mentioned that, right? How do you get to a system like that? This is like becoming like your 2G A Raja first come first served. It's as ridiculous as that, right? And people using their elbows to try to reach the first come first served tickets before. Tickets should have been put on sale at some nominal price. They should have been made available on the internet. People should have been able to buy them in advance. There shouldn't have been ticket counters here. The whole bunch of things could have been done and should have been done.
Now, you were you were near this area when the match happened and RCB won. Now, do you think the cops should have anticipated that if so and so when RCB comes back home, such huge crowd would gather to welcome them?
Definitely, Shivani, because I think across Bangalore, the celebrations were very frenzy on the match night. Okay, I'm sure the inputs have gone to the police on what kind of frenziness is there in the city. And given that the team was arriving, they could have, I think they did that also. They did tell RCB management and the government that we cannot handle this. So, what could have been done in a better way was the communication, right? So there were a lot of mixed up communication saying there is a victory parade, then there is no victory parade, then you come to Chinnaswamy, you don't come to airport. So that communication was the key. You cannot expect thousands. I mean, anything like this, someone where a team has Virat Kohli and so many popular members, you can't expect the crowd to be in hundreds. Okay, that's the first thing. It's a given that people will come and throng the place. So ideally, a parade would have been better because it would have distributed the crowd along the distance, right? If you had done a parade from, say, Taj Western to Chinnaswamy, it is like 2 kilometers, and it would have distributed the crowd, and police would have been able to manage the crowd better. Thronging any place in lakhs will definitely result into this, given the way the historic crowd are, right? They cannot be controlled. They are unruly, and that's why we need administration. That's why we need cops. Blaming the crowd, of course, we definitely lack civic sense. We definitely lack discipline. No doubts about it. I mean, the crowd could have been better, but the administration is also there for a reason. They could have thought over this, given how the match night was, and then told the government, please have one event a day. Kohli is not there, foreign team players is not there, fine, the cup is here, right? That's the trophy is here. That was the important thing. They could have had the celebration spaced out, given the tickets. I mean, see, communication, I tell you, it's not only on social media, on the websites. Yeah. I mean, that's the major blunder these people are doing. There is no communication in Kannada at all. So people who came, they thought it's free tickets, right? And it was only on social media. And as you said, it was like a disclaimer in a very small font. Announce it on the TVs, announce it way in advance that this is a ticketed event. Please come, and it should be a nominal fee. It should not be like it's a gated community and you have it only the elite people inside. Open it, but plan it well. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm going back to the fact that RCB was in finals and they had 4 days. They could have planned it well. If they didn't win, it's fine. It's okay. The preparedness will not go waste, right? They will know what to anticipate. I think the administration failed there in anticipating and being more prepared. It's not that yesterday we won the game and tomorrow they're coming. No, they won it on Friday and they knew the match was on Tuesday. They had 4 days, and then even on the match night they had seen the crowd. I mean, Orion, if you had seen the pictures, it was crazy. There were like thousands people standing and sitting on the road and watching the match. So, I mean, in no way we can say that just people came off out of the blue. No, it was expected, and probably crowd could have been better. I don't take that thing away from saying the public was bad. They were definitely unruly. You can't expect the cops to go on top of the trees and control them. Yeah, they were jumping off the compounds, from the trees. Definitely, there was a problem there, but we could have managed it well. We had every chance to do it better.
Absolutely. That we have things that we could have done and things that we can learn from this incident. But looking ahead, how do you think like Bengaluru can celebrate better? How the management can do things better or learn from this situation? Because people are not going to stop celebrating. So how can we keep public safety at the center and have celebratory events in Bengaluru?
No, I mean, it's only about the planning and having better preparedness. It cannot be otherwise, right? You have to be prepared. You have to anticipate and use technology. Yeah, I was 15 days or 3 weeks ago. I watched a show. I mean, a podcast where I saw how tech savvy is our Bangalore police. I mean, they use the AI solutions. They have everything in place. I really cannot comprehend how did they not see the swelling crowd yesterday. Seriously, I cannot really think how did they miss this. I agree the force was in Vidhan Sauda. They had to cover and give the security to the VIPs. But why did they not see the crowd swelling in Chinnaswamy, right? I mean, it's a tech city at the end of the day. We have to use the tech solutions and be more prepared. We cannot be using age old practices saying, I'll barricade it, I will stop the traffic, I will stop the entry into metro stations. I mean, that's very regressive. You be prepared. No? How can you use the technology and do it better? We cannot be, as Nitin said, what we did in 93 cannot be working in 2025, right? I mean, we should be using better methods and apply those. Of course, uh, have it is always I mean, there will be shortage of resources. We cannot have lakhs of crowd and thousands in police. That ratio cannot be matched anytime. But use better methods and don't take away the celebrations from the people, right? We are anyway, we don't have much entertainment in this city, and this was something which they were really looking forward to from April when IPL started. Somebody in RCB said, "This is our trophy this time." So we had enough time, and we could have. I mean, there were matches here. There were matches which was called off. That was handled better. The rain day when the match was called off, the crowd was handled better. So no, we can do it better. Bangalore definitely can do it better. It's just that we need to be more prepared, use better methods to control the crowd. Don't take away the celebrations from the city.
Nitin, what do you think? How can we celebrate more safer?
Yes, it's like coming back to what Shilpa was saying. It's just preparedness, right? You need to be prepared. Better planning, better preparedness, and again, I think for having more spots of celebration all over the city. Let everything not be dependent on people coming to Brigade Road or the CBD to celebrate, right? Have more localized areas where people can congregate and celebrate.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
One thing. I think what lacked yesterday, apart from the preparedness, was the public addressing system. I think we lack it big time. I mean, if there were public addressing system guiding people where to go and which roads to avoid, and that would have really helped. Of course, there would be people who will not listen to you, but majority of the crowd listens to directions. Yeah, that was missing yesterday. I mean, of course, the communication could have been better, but at this vicinity, the public addressing system was missing big time. I think it's probably an input. It's not that Bangalore police doesn't know about it, but I felt yesterday, I tweeted about it saying, where is it? We can't hear anyone speaking. I'll tell you a simple example. I work in Electronic City. There is a small junction after the toll. It's a normal traffic junction, but there is always a cop who is guiding motorists saying, do not come here, take a left turn, go straight. I mean, it works so well. It works so well because, yeah, they will be surprised. They will not know whether it is addressing to them or someone else. They will look around, but the moment they realize it is them who is being addressed, they become okay. They will not stray, right? In such events, it's more necessary for having those public addressing systems where they can speak, tell the crowd what to do and what not to. I think that's an important takeaway. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your inputs and moving the conversation forward. Celebrations is part of who we are as a city, but that should not come at the cost of safety. What happened yesterday at the Chinnaswamy Stadium was not just a tragic accident, but it shows us how unprepared our systems are, even for joy. My colleagues and I have put together what went wrong yesterday, from miscommunication to lack of planning. Hopefully, next time Bengaluru celebrates, we celebrate with more care, more planning, and more accountability.